that, but I remember when I was young and I was in Corning, and maybe it was before that, like, because I was in the group home. I mean, but it was between 11 and 14 years old that I was like, there's no way that I could grow and do more. And I don't know if I thought about it as grow then or what, but I was like, this is just, I got to do more than this. Well, but if I had gotten stuck there, I mean, it would have killed probably half of the potential that I have because I would have grown up,
Yeah.
and I probably, like I said,
You
I probably would
thought
have done
about only
something.
being able to get only that big.
I would have only been that big,
You would have only thought that you could be
that
only
big,
that
because
big.
yeah, I would have only expanded from this little circle to the outer perimeters of that circle. Or when I went to North Carolina, um, I realized that I could work more. When I remember when I came down, because this is literally how I started in construction. Well, up until I was 11, 12, 13 years old, I would put penny saver ads out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to put penny saver ads out. It said odd jobs.
Yeah.
And when I put those penny saver ads out, people would call me, and that's how I made money. At 11 years old. At 11 years old, I remember going and digging a sewage tank, whatever it is. I dug the hole for it for $50 at 11 years old. Well, then I realized, though, I was like, oh shit, I can do work to make money. And that's kind of what my mom told me is, you want a candy bar, you can't get it unless you go earn it, basically.
You didn't start before that on shoveling driveways?
11 years old, I started working. That's when I remember starting. I may have done like shoveling of driveways. I literally had to get a ride from there to town.
Yeah, because you live.
And then I had to walk all over town.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I think one of the main reasons I did shit like that too is because it always snows heavily around March. And I loved the Shamrock Shakes.
Honestly.
And I would literally go shovel all fucking day long because I wanted to eat McDonald's.
I remember.
Like, we didn't get that shit.
Yeah.
So, because I had to go back, because I had to go into town and I had to travel like that, a lot of that poured over into other things, like when I got the plow trucks, right? At that point in time, because I'd already known that with other things that I was able to go out and like haul shit from my odd job stuff that I did.
Like
I advertised for hauling. I advertised for cleanups. I advertised for that stuff literally at 16, 17 years old.
When you and Keith were out there cutting the trees.
Cutting trees.
Yeah, I remember because I went with you that one time.
So all of that stuff, I was like, oh shit, I can go here. Well, anyway, when I wanted to go back to North Carolina was because I knew that there was only so much opportunity in Corning. When I was there working with Michael in North Carolina, I was working there for a while, and he comes and he says, I can't really work you, man, because you're 14. It was probably like payroll thing. He didn't want to pay me $400 or $500 because I worked hard and I worked all those hours.
Yeah.
Well, so he's like, but I think the guy's name is Jason. He was the general contractor on the job. He's the one building all the houses, or a bunch of the houses anyway. Well, he's like, I think that I'm going to, see if he's got anything for you. Jace or Jason. Pretty sure it was something like that. Well, dude used to, he had me cleaning out houses. And then he had me like bobcatting at 14 years old. I'd be bobcatting sand over to the Hispanics. They were laying brick or, in between cleaning out houses and doing just shit around there. And then I was forced to go back to New York because my dad went to jail.
Yeah.
So I fucking couldn't stay there. And I had money, but still.
You were 14.
I was 14. I didn't know how to fucking take care of myself. I was forced to go back, and when I went back, It was literally like life ended. Yeah. It fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And that's when I started fucking doing dumb shit. Like I haven't thought about this in a long time. But I was working hard, and I always said, without really remembering it all, I always said that I worked hard, but I still did the fucking dumb shit that I didn't need to. But I do remember now is when I had to come back, like I smoked pot, but when I had to come back, I had to go back into, I think I went back into school. I was like 15. I was 15. I had to go back into school after summer for like 2 months, and then I quit. But during that time, I mean, I was doing, dumb shit. Yeah, because I was hanging out with the type of people that was doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
And I fucking ended up just being a crazy fucking reckless teenager. And I still worked though. I still always had a job. Still always worked hard and tried to make more and do more. Yeah, so that's where initially, basically, I realized that that Corning was holding me back. That's exactly how I felt when I was forced to come back. I was like, this town is just like, I've seen so much more. My eyes were open.
It holds back.
And it was holding me back. And at that point, that was when I was like, I'm going back south. Yeah, that's when I planned to go back, is when I was 14 or 15 years old and forced to leave. I would have,
honestly, if you think
I would have had a different life.
Okay,
but
so what you know now. Okay, this is a good question for you. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Of what you know now, if you don't have the past, what you have there, but of what you know now and how to build your company and what you have to do you think there would be more opportunities there?
Do I think that there's no growth in Corning? Absolutely not. My mind was limited back then, because the reason why it took so long for me to grow the last 10 years to get to this point right here is because my goals were not large enough. Somehow I fell into Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember how I fell into Grant Cardone. But I started listening to Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
You remember? And it basically changed the way I operated my own mind.
It changed a lot about you. It made your goals different.
It made my goals, well, the book actually made me realize who I actually was.
I feel
so I have been this person. Like I was introduced to the book at 30 years old. 30 or 31, something like that. And I was this person that he was describing in his book, and I'm like, but I could be doing more, because he's saying that's the
competitive side in you.
Well, I could be doing more than what I was doing. He made me realize that I have this edge. That I have this mindset that I have to continue to grow. Like this is funny. This is actually kind of funny, because I've referred to the next thing all through my life. So the first time when I started talking about it, I started referencing construction, right? So, and you always hear moving up the ladder, right? Yeah. That's what you heard back then, is moving up the ladder.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, all right, the next rung. I'm going to make it to the next rung. And the first rung is doing this, and then the next rung is nailing the shank, whatever it was. Buying a plow truck, whatever that rung was for me, it was the next rung. So I'm like, yeah, I'm moving up. Well, then it turned into stepping stones. Like, hey, I'm moving across a body of fucking water now. I'm not just climbing a stable ladder. Now we're jumping from rock to rock. And now it's like you're shooting for the fucking stars. And I realized that, and that's the kind of how they put it is, what is it going to take to do that thing? And I realized that there was things that I was lacking doing, like Facebook advertising and you know, going out and advertising again. I was literally in a place when I listened to his book, and it was probably the perfect time because I had worked all the way up through, and it was time for me to move on from that stepping stone. Or right?
I seen the book, you know, from my side of, you know, looking and watching you change.
Yeah.
My side of it is the book challenged you to, you know, like.
It did challenge me because I was like, it challenged me because
you read it. Hold on, you read it and you read some things and you were like, I can do that. I know I can do that. I know I can be that. I know I can be better than that. You know,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Every chapter you read.
Absolutely. Well, because I was like, well, fuck,
challenge and another challenge.
I was like, fuck, I mean, for one, I mean, the perfect fucking title is, bam, fucking like 10x, 10 times everything you're fucking doing because you can, okay? Yeah. And I'm still not even, like, I wish I'm trying to get to a point where I'm more 10x. I think I'm 10x like a fucker, but I mean, I don't. But that's the thing, is that who the hell's the judge? Like, I could be working my ass off and doing all sorts of shit, and I don't think I'm 10xing yet. And everybody around me might be like, man, that motherfucker. Like, dude, yesterday, he's like, you're wearing yourself thin? Or you think you're wearing yourself thin? I said, fuck no. I said, I've figured out that perfect level of thinness where I don't get too thin, but I'm all right. Because I don't think I'm 10xing enough.
When I think it challenged you, and that's what I seen.
Oh yeah, it did. I mean, it made me. Like I said, it actually made me realize that there was a lot more that I wasn't taking advantage of that I knew I was capable of, because I knew, like, hard fucking work has always been a fucking something that if you work hard, no matter what, you're gonna fucking succeed. Mm-hmm. Now you use that same fucking analogy, and what are you working hard at?
And what are you working hard for?
What are you working hard at? Like, you could be working hard fucking slinging fucking metal roofing panels, right?
Yeah.
Or you could be working hard selling fucking jobs.
Yeah.
You know, or you could be working hard, you know, developing your business. And whatever, you know, anything. You just hard work will always be successful. Mm-hmm. It just your mind has to take you from or wherever. If that's who you are right now, if you're a hard worker and you want to be the next level, what's the next level? Mm-hmm. Now fucking work hard at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you're done working hard at that and you feel like it's the time for the next fucking level, you move on. It's like it's like the bench press. Mm-hmm. You put fucking weight on each side, you know? I mean, you choose the weight. That weight could be you know, educating yourself. That weight could be, you know, getting yourself as physically fit as you can be. That weight could be taking, you know, the avenue that you're going with your business, and you slap them plates on the sides. How much, you know, weight do you want it? You got to put what you can handle on there, and then and then that resistance, you build yourself to the resistance, and now you've accomplished, you know, more because you're actually working hard at that thing.
Oh yeah.
So you can do it and you can put whatever, like I said, whatever weight you want on each side, and that's where you're gonna build your muscle. is wherever you're concentrating that hard work.